Good morning students, welcome back. In our last class we had discussed about ionization potential. So today we will discuss about electron affinity. So ionization potential, in last class we had discussed, it is the energy required to remove electron, yes or no? And what happens if we move from left to right, top to bottom, we have all done that, yes or no? So today we will discuss about electron affinity and its trend along the period and down the group. Okay. So first let us understand what electron affinity is. Affinity is, what do we call it? It's a want, yes or no? Chahana. In another term is called chahana, that is affection. Okay. So now electron affinity is actually energy not required released when an atom adds electron, or the energy released when an electron is added to an atom. Energy released when an atom adds electron, or you can call it energy released when an electron is added to isolated gaseous atom. Okay, this is the definition. In ionization potential IP, electron is removed and the energy is required. Energy is required to remove the electron. Now once the electron is added to the system, now there is a release in energy. So this energy is called electron affinity. Simple. Got it? The energy released when an atom adds electron, or energy released when an electron is added to isolated gaseous atom. Got it or not? This is energy released. So energy release always is in negative. Okay, so this is negative energy released. Got it or not? Okay, so now I'll explain this with respect to the period and the group. Okay, as we move from left to right, as you know, size of the atom decreases, yes or no? Why decreases? Because there is a higher nuclear charge. So there is a high nuclear charge here. Nuclear charge meaning attraction between this nucleus and the outermost electron. If this is so, then in this case addition of electron is easy and energy release is more. Remember this. Easy addition, more release of energy. Very simple way. In a very simple way, try to understand this. If this size is smaller, or if it has higher nuclear charge, then addition of electron is easy. If addition of electron is easy, then the release of energy is more. Got it or not? So what happens when we move from left to right? Since nuclear charge is increasing, addition of electron is easy, so high energy release. So electron affinity increases from left to right in the period. Yes or no? As you know, if you move from top to bottom, size gets increased, meaning lesser nuclear energy. So lesser nuclear energy, so you need to, so it does not add electron, that much effectively as this, as compared to this. Yes or no? Smaller size, easy addition, more release of energy. So as we move from top to bottom along a group, then electron affinity DECREASES decreases. Okay, so the reason, number one reason for this is nuclear charge, and another reason is atomic size. Okay, got it or not? So here you'll get one question, and this question is very important. So halogen group, okay, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. Let us forget about astatine. Okay, now fluorines, this is this much size of the fluorine. Let us consider this is the size of fluorine, this is somewhat chlorine, this is bromine, this is iodine. Okay, I am explaining you that. So why there is exception. Okay, so I had told you just now, as we move from top to bottom in a particular group, electron affinity decreases. Yes or no? Electron affinity decreases. But electron affinity of chlorine, is higher than that of fluorine. Okay, you'll get this question mark. Why? Okay, so generally or regularly electron affinity decreases from top to bottom of the group. So this must have higher affinity than this, and in turn higher than this, and so on. Yes or no? So, but here in the case of fluorine and chlorine, this condition is not so. Electron affinity of chlorine is higher than fluorine. Okay, so the answer is here. Okay, answer is in the size. You can explain this in terms of size. See, since this is fluorine, yes or no, in this small area, electrons are residing. Yes or no? So the density of electron is very much higher here. Okay, since the area of fluorine is somewhat bigger, so the density is somewhat less here. Okay, density of electron is somewhat less here. Now if you wish to add another electron in that small area, then the electron which was present here will repel the incoming electron. Okay, since the electron cloud here, electron density is maximum negative charge. So this negative charge, electron is also negative charge. So this negative and negative charge, there is a repulsion. So there is inter-electronic repulsion. What is the reason? Inter-electronic repulsion, because of the smaller size in fluorine. Okay. So because of the smaller size of fluorine, there exists inter-electronic repulsion, so that the addition of electron is somewhat difficult as compared to the larger size of chlorine. As compared to fluorine, their inter-electronic repulsion does not exist. Got it or not? This is the reason why chlorine has higher electron affinity than fluorine. Understood? Okay. Now let us move on to the another factor. We have finished electron affinity. I have given you the exception. Okay, just go through the book. If you don't understand, then you can ask in your WhatsApp group. Okay. Next is electronegativity. Electronegativity is the tendency to attract shared pair of electrons or the bonded electron towards itself. It is a tendency to attract shared pair or bonded electrons towards itself. Okay, so electron pair attracting property. Simple example, HCl. Since chlorine has high electron affinity than hydrogen, so the bonded electron like this will shift slightly towards chlorine. Chlorine pulls this two electron towards itself, forming slightly positive charge on hydrogen and slightly negative charge on chlorine. So this phenomenon is called electronegativity. Okay, so electron attracting property. So as we move from left to right, as we know, size decreases, so electronegativity increases. So electronegativity increases. Okay, and if you move from top to bottom, size increases, so electronegativity decreases. Okay, that is why fluorine is the most electronegative element. Which element is the most electronegative element? Fluorine. Okay, so the most electronegative is fluorine. After that, not chlorine, after that oxygen, then only chlorine, because of this size. Okay, got it? This is electronegativity. Electronegativity is a tendency to attract shared pair or bonded electron towards itself, like this. Okay, so as we move from left to right, electronegativity increases. So if you move from top to bottom, electronegativity decreases. Got it? So the most electronegative is fluorine and the second most electronegative is oxygen. After that, chlorine. Okay. Okay, now next is metallic and non-metallic properties. Metallic and non-metallic properties. Okay, so first you have to understand what are metals. Metals are the substances which can donate electrons or electron. So metals are the substance which can donate electron, and the non-metal are the substance accept electrons. Okay, got it? So I'll give you a simple idea how to check whether the given element is metal or non-metal. Okay, so if valence electron is 1, 2 and 3, you can consider this this element as metal, and 4, 5, 6, 7 on 4, 5, 6, 7 you can call it non-metal, and if valence electron is 8, then it is called noble gas or inert gas. Okay, so to be metal, it must have valence electron 1 or 2 or 3. to be non-metal, valence electron must be 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. Okay, and for the noble gas, valence electron must be 8. Okay, metals are donor of electron. Metals donates electron, that is why donor electron, the one which donates electron are called metals, and the one which accept electron are called non-metals. Got it? Okay. Now I will give you a simple example to identify whether the given elements, suppose A, B, C, D, these are the elements with atomic number 13, 11, 16 and 18, and if you are asked to find, and if you are asked to separate which one is metal, which one is non-metal, which one is noble gas, okay, simply you do electronic configuration 283, 281, 286, this is 288, yes or no? So what is the valence electron here? 3. If the valence electron is 3, then this particular A is a metal, because valence electron 1 or 2 or 3 are metals. Okay, since A is aluminum, that is why it is metal. B, 11, 1 is there, valence electron is 1, so this is also metal. Here valence electron 6, now 1, 2, 3 metal, after that non-metal, so this is non-metal obviously. Now valence electron is 8, this is noble gas or inert gas. Got it? In a very simple manner you can identify metal and non-metal. Okay, so what happens if you move from left to right the periodic table? So as you know, valence electron increases when we move from left to right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So valence electron increases if you move from left to right, so metallic character decreases obviously. Okay, when we move from top to bottom, since the size increases, electron donation capability or capacity increases, so metallic character increases. Got it? So if you move from left to right, metallic character decreases. If you move from top to bottom, metallic character increases. Okay. Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium. So these are the elements of group 13. Okay, so this boron is also this boron family. This is called boron family. Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium. Among them, thallium is the most metallic. Why? We are moving from top to bottom of the group. Metallic character increases. Got it or not? Okay, this type of question you will get in your exam. Okay, so this type of question you will okay, I will give you in your WhatsApp class. So this much for today. Okay, so we have finished periodic table. Got it? So try to understand all the terms, okay, and their trends. What happens if we move from left to right of the periodic table, top to bottom? Okay, so this type of question you will get in your examination. Thank you very much for today.